Hey guys, before I do this review, there's something they need to know about me. For most of my life, I grew up listening to Sinatra music and Elvis Presley's music pretty much my whole life as I can remember. Now, of course, I listened to others, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., the Beach Boys, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I listened to a lot of older music, but Frank Sinatra's music and Elvis Presley's music seem to have always been the soundtrack of my life. So, when I was about, I would have to say 14 years old, when I still had a video store in the area where I live, I found this two-part miniseries called Sinatra. It came out in 1992. Now you have to understand how this movie came to be. In 1986, when Sinatra was 71 years old, this book came out called His Way, the unauthorized biography of Frank Sinatra by Kitty Kelly. I know, that sounds like a porn star's name. I understand where your line of thinking's coming from. But she wanted to write a book on Sinatra's life, and she tried to contact Sinatra multiple times over and over, and he wouldn't respond, and his publicist said that Mr. Sinatra will only let one of his friends or someone he's close to write a movie about him or write a book about his life when Sinatra feels it's time for the world to know his life story. So, this book comes out. It's a big brouhaha because Sinatra, like all of us, he was a human being as well. There are some parts of his life he just wanted kept private, and he didn't want the world to know some of his, hobbies, some of his, life secrets, and he took a lot of secrets to the grave. But in this book, though, from what I skimmed over in the book, like where it talks about his involvement with the mafia, Kitty Kelly writes that Sinatra was a part of the New Jersey Mafia, which is completely inaccurate. He wasn't. And in the 1992 TV movie, which is 99.9% accurate, it says that Sinatra was friends with people who were in the Mafia, but he wasn't a part of them. Sinatra didn't believe in bigotry. The Mafia did believe in bigotry, and they killed black and white people alike. If there was a black man or a white man that did give them the answers, they were killed. And, of course, Sinatra found about this later when he was older, which pissed him off to high heavens, which you find out in the movie. But the thing is, he thought bigotry was a disease, that if anybody had the disease called bigotry, that they would die in their lifetime young if they didn't open their hearts, which I completely agree with. And Philip Kanzoff plays Frank Sinatra in the film, and the film was written by William Masterstein, who got the rights by Sinatra himself to make this movie about him, and this was before Sinatra was 80 years old. So, that is the background of how this movie came to be. Now, the movie itself, it is a long movie, that's why it is a two-parter. But other than that, it is a brilliantly directed film. There are some cliche-ish moments, but I have to say, Philip Kanzoff, who plays Sinatra in this movie, plays a wonderful Sinatra. And in 95, when Sinatra was 80 years old, there was a movie that came out by HBO called The Rat Pack, and Ray Liotta played a great Sinatra as well. Performance-wise, I have to say Philip Kanzoff is a better Sinatra than Ray Liotta is. But the whole cast in the Sinatra TV movie are fantastic. The movie is fantastic from start to finish, and you get a sense of what Frank Sinatra's life was altogether. You don't get a completely fabricated story. No, Sinatra was an open, honest man. He was honest about everything in his life. If he had a certain stance that went against the status quo, he was honest about it. He didn't hold back in the shadows while everyone else did. He didn't. He was out in the open. He told the truth constantly. And this movie is 99.9% accurate about the life of Frank Sinatra. And the other 1% of the movie, like I said, is the stuff that Sinatra didn't want people to know, like his hobbies that he had, and certain political stances that his fans wouldn't agree with, which is all fine to have your secrets. And like I said, he took a lot of secrets to the grave. Frank Sinatra left a lot of mysteries that we're still trying to solve. But other than that, I would say if you can find this on VHS still, if you can find this on DVD, if you could find it on HBO when it comes on sometime, I would say watch it because it is honestly a great TV film. It's more accurate than the Elvis movie was with Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, even though that's a fantastic biographical drama. But Sinatra is definitely what the man was. It is a truthful film about the man's life, and it is brilliantly done.